Hi, I'm Brooklyn. Today I'm going to show you how to make a bandana bib. These little things are super easy. They're great for babies who drool, and I guess you could put them on bigger kids too, and even better for moms who want them to look cute. The whole thing takes about 15 minutes to make, and here's the tutorial. Enjoy! So every kit that Handstitched sells for sewing is awesome. It comes pre-cut and everything you need to make it is inside. These are the instructions, so we'll just set that aside for this video. I ordered pom-poms with this kit because I'm a big fan, but this adds a little bit of a more complicated step, so if you don't want the pom-poms, then just sew them without, and it should be pretty easy to follow. So here's the back, and this is the front piece. This kit has these cute little buttons, which we'll use later, and now you need to take the pom-poms, find the center of the pom-poms, folding it in half, and lay that on the very point of the edge of the bib. Pin this in place, and don't make it go all the way to the edge. It's going to have a bit of a rounded corner. Then take the top, pin that in place, and you want to pin it about 1/4 inch away from the edge of the fabric, and that makes it a lot easier when you're sewing it. Now the pom-poms all hang on the inside at first, and just to show you, this will be sewn like this, but we're just going to sew the pom-poms onto the back piece first. So start a little bit away from the very point where it's going to be kind of round, and just sew the pom-poms in place. Go as close to the edge, the flat edge, as you can. The little balls are going to stick out on the other side. Just keep sewing it. It took me a long time to get it all to lay in the right place, and just because that's how it is. These are kind of tricky to sew with. So don't feel bad if it's your first time and it takes a little bit of time. I cut off the ends, just trimmed it nice and neat, and then sewing from where I started, start going around the bottom edge and make it as neat as you can. Try to not get any folds or anything else in there. Just keep it straight. So I use a lot of stopping and starting to get this to work right. And that's okay if you need to do it too. So make sure you cut off the end again. Take your front piece and lay it facing towards the pom-poms. So it's like the two pieces of fabric are the bread and the sandwich, and the pom-poms are the meat. And they shouldn't be hanging out on the outside. And go as close as you can to your original seam. Just sew right on top of that again. And that'll make sure that you don't have any weird edges or places that are sticking out. For the whole bib, especially for this top part, keep it as lined up as you can. Both of the edges. But if it's not perfect, don't worry about it because it's going to be on the inside. But make sure you leave an 1 to 2 inch gap on the inside of the bib, not the edge where the pom-poms are sewn. And then keep going all the way around to where you started. And now you're going to turn this little thing inside out and it'll look like a bib. So squish it through that little hole. Use your fingers or something dull like a chopstick to turn out the corners all the way. And then you need to make sure that you iron over the top of it. So get the edges of the seams and make sure that it's nice and neat. And the next step involves top stitching, which is just going around the edge to make sure that everything's pressed in place and it will stay neat how you ironed it. I like to go just around the edge with the pom-poms because leaving the other one not top stitched makes it a little bit softer on the neck of the person who's wearing them. Now this next step is just how to close the gap on the hole that you left open. So turn it inside out and pull a needle and thread through until that gap is all the way closed, nice and tight. And then we're going to sew on the button. So one button goes on the back side, this white creamy fabric. Enter the needle in through the side And make sure when you're sewing it that you're just going through the creamy fabric, not the front piece. Sew through every little hole of the button, either once or twice, depending on how strong it feels to you. Tie a knot to finish, and then put the needle back through so that you can cut off the threads on the end. And that makes it a little bit more secure, and it makes it so you can't see the knot. Once you have that one sewn in, you're going to want to put one on the other side, but this time you put it on the outside. So sew that through like you did the other one. And then you want to test and make sure that it's nice and secure. So close it together, open it up a couple times, make sure it's nice and tight, and then your bib is done. So have fun sewing this bib from Handstitched, and keep coming back to check out what other things we have available that are pre-cut and easy for sewers of all skill levels. And like and subscribe to this channel for upcoming tutorials on our different projects.